Hello, BookTube. All right, we're back at the library tour of Darkest Mordor. For those of you who might be joining us new, that is this built-in hutch here in the living room that has a bunch of built-in shelves, and that is, of course, a magnet for a book person. You fill it with books, and I did, and for some reason I have lighted onto making a library tour of this pit where I try not usually even to look. And we're on I think it's the third shelf, and we're just gonna push through to the end of this shelf so that maybe we can sort of kind of glimpse the end inside for Mordor. So we're just gonna blast through these last few books, starting with this hardcover of Sally Carlagar's Wild Heritage. She is absolutely fantastic nature writer, and her books are full of black and white illustrations, and her descriptions of nature are amazing. She wrote a small shelf full of books, and they're all wonderful. I highly recommend them all. And I have a lot of them. Although you can see right away, I don't have them all together. Anyway, next one is an advanced copy. We've seen it on this channel before. This is The Duke's Children by Anthony Trollope in the this Everyman edition. I don't think I got the finished copy, but Everyman did a service to readers everywhere, especially Trollope fans everywhere. When Trollope originally submitted this novel to his publisher, they asked him to cut a huge amount, 40,000 words, the length of a whole novel, and almost, and he did. And not only did he cut, but he cut very judiciously, shortened sentences. He didn't just cut whole chunks that would be easy to restore. So, and this is the restored version of The Duke's Children. This is the whole book that he wrote. An editorial task of enormous dimensions. Hats off to them. And of course, The Duke's Children is one of my all-time favorite Trollope novels, in which the greatest lord in the land, the Duke of Omnium, has a daughter who wants to marry in a way that he doesn't like. The young man is completely noble, completely suitable, but he's not of the right family. He's not of their station in life, and the old man, the Duke of Omnium, knows perfectly well that he's going to lose. He knows that's an outdated argument, but he can't help but make it anyway. And it's protracted for the whole length of the book, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on. I love it. I absolutely love the book. I was amazed that Everyman Library did this, much less that they did a version of The Duke's Children that I had in fact never read. So I was overjoyed to have it. And the next one is another one of those green spine penguins. This is the big one. This is Gravity's Rainbow, which I like for the rocket plans on the cover. Gravity's Rainbow, of course, is Pynchon's masterpiece. If you haven't read it, you really have to. It's in the 20th century. It's one of a handful of novels that you have to read. Eventually, I highly recommend it. There are some way stations throughout the book. There is a protracted scene a little bit in that will separate you. It will teach you the limits of what you can endure as a reader. If you can get through that scene, then you'll get through the book. If you can't, then you'll leave the book aside and never return to it. So we'll see. We'll see how you do. Then the next one is looks like it's a self-published novel called To Prove a Villain by Guy Townsend. The one reviewer here says the detective in To Prove a Villain has the Herculean task of demolishing Josephine Tey's celebrated defense of Richard III, while simultaneously fathoming the sinister riddle which a modern murder has conjured to muddle the past. So it's the counterpoint to Josephine Tey's novel, in which Richard is a poor misunderstood waif who didn't actually kill monarch after monarch after monarch in order to get to the throne. I remember reading this. I remember the key to the longevity of The Daughter of Time by Josephine Tey is not only that it venerates Richard, it's also that it's a heck of a book. It's an amazingly involving book, and I don't remember this one being quite as involving. I think I kept it mainly because it echoes my own sentiments about Richard. The next one is a great book. This is Body and Soul by Frank Conroy, who was for a long time the head of the Writers' Workshop in Iowa City. And this is the story of a young piano prodigy, and it is amazing. Just amazing. It's the story of that piano prodigy as he is taught and grows to adulthood and encounters the world and falls in love, and you will love it. You will absolutely love it. I cannot recommend it highly enough. The next one, oh, okay. The next one is also a contemporary novel, and I highly recommend. This is Anthony Marra's The Constellation of Vital Phenomena. I remember when I read this the first time when it first came out. When was that? It was a long time ago. 2013. 2013. I remember reading it and thought, wow. They, from time to time, regularly in the New York Review of Books, critics will say that novels like this aren't written anymore, that are extremely literary, but also heartfelt. This is, I'm sure you've all seen recommendations for it on other BookTube channels, including most especially Olive at A Book Olive, who loves it. It's well worth your time. It's a really good read. And what have we got here? Oh, great. Okay, this is by Stephen Graham Jones. This is All the Beautiful Sinners. He's an author I wish was better known. This is the story of a deputy sheriff in Texas who eventually ends up pursuing a diabolical serial killer called the Tin Man. That is the plot. But really, it's the beauty of how it's written. It's an amazing reading experience, quite apart from whether or not the good guys win or lose. And let's see here. What the... Okay. This is the paperback copy of James Franco's Palo Alto, his collection of short stories that didn't look this way in the hardcover. the paperback cover design, I think, was meant to suggest something. That doesn't actually happen in any of the stories. But I really liked it. I really liked it as a short story collection. I thought it had some promise. Really liked is a bit of a stretch. I really liked it considering that it was by a Hollywood star. It seemed to have the kernel of literary ability, which Hollywood star vanity projects usually there's nothing there at all. These are people who surround themselves with people who praise everything they do. So they're going to get a book contract, but the stuff is going to be terrible. And I didn't see that here. It disappoints me a little that Franco seems to have... This seems to have been a phase he was going through, so we might never get a serious novel from him. That actually does disappoint me a bit. Oh, God. The next two are books we've seen on this Mordor library tour countless times. This is Kim Newman's books in the Anno Dracula series. First one, this is Anno Dracula, Red Baron, Bloody Red Baron, and this is Dracula Cha-Cha-Cha, which, when it was originally issued in a trade paperback years and years ago, had some dumb, boring title, like Blood Games or something like that. This was the original title, Dracula Cha-Cha-Cha. And this is Dracula in La Dolce Vita, 1950s Italy. And this is Dracula during World War I, but a very different, radically altered World War I, because these are two novels in Kim Newman's Anno Dracula world, in which Dracula succeeded in conquering England. He succeeded in filling England with the undead. And the world in these later volumes is just the world that arises out of that. What happens if the undead come out of the shadows and you've got bloodlines and shapeshifters and blood drinkers, and they have to live alongside humans? How does that change things? The permutations are amazing. These are infinitely inventive novels. I highly recommend them. If you love Dracula, you're gonna love these things. What do we got here? Oh, great! Oh, fantastic! Okay, this is Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. This is her novel in which the main protagonist is Groundhog Daying her way through existence. She lives and then dies and then lives again and then dies, all over and over and over again, and is marginally aware of it to the point where she can start to craft a purpose. And there's a very sexy blurb in here. A densely layered, century-sprawling work, Life After Life is a drama of failures and providential... That's not very sexy, is it? Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's just some junk blurb from the Wall Street Journal. What we want is the blurb from the Washington Post. The Blitz segments vibrate with life, as vivid and horrifying as the series of glimpses into a charnel house. The natural exuberance of Atkinson's prose is brought into sharp, precise control. Buried inside Life After Life is the best Blitz novel since Sarah Waters' The Night Watch. That critic certainly sounds like he knows what he's doing. And the next one is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. This is a novel about the last woman executed for murder. This also has a great blurb, yes? That's all we look for. Yeah, this is also bleak and beautiful. Kent handles her starkly austere story with uncanny precision and an utter lack of sentiment. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's very nice. A very good book. There's not a glimmer of light anywhere in it, so read it with caution. I love this book so much. This is A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth. It's the story of two families and a Byzantine endless negotiation of marriage for two of their children. And I love this big trade paperback that Harper did years and years ago. That's why I have this as opposed to a hardcover. I love this big version, and it kills me. I love it. I reread it about once every 5 years, and it kills me because it's this. It's these two books. Had I been in the reviewing game when this thing first appeared, I would certainly be one of the blurbs on the back. I would have moved heaven and earth. I was out of the game at that time. So, we got next year. Oh, okay. All right. These are. I don't know exactly where these come from. These are both by Mel Keegan, the author writing under the name Mel Keegan. These are two gay adventure novels. One is Stormtide, and one is Ice, Wind, and Fire, in which the two heroes fight villains and solve crimes. They're adults. They're not. One of them is younger than the other. They have a. I'm not quite sure why I got these or how I got them. I'm sure they did not appear at the bookstore. Boston used to have a gay bookstore called Glad Day. Maybe I got them there. But I remember the thing I really liked about them is that they don't make any. They don't crusade. The two main characters are the crime-solving, couple of any novels like these. They have outlandish adventures. They fight. They escape hair's breadth traps. Not much is made, in other words. Not much is beaten you over the head with the fact that they're a gay couple. I kind of like that. What is this little thing? Okay, this thing's barely here at all. This is an old series. This is by J.A. Simons. This is an old series, The English Men of Letters, from the 19th century. And this one is about Sir Philip Sidney. That's why I have it, I think. I don't know why I would keep it. There's not going to be anything in there that isn't in a Sidney biography, or even the introduction to a collected Sidney works. But I don't know why I kept this. It seems to be the refrain of the Library of Mordor. Oh, good. Okay, this is something we've seen on this channel before. I think this is a double. This is Steve Healy's How I Became a Famous Novelist, about a feckless young man who decides that the perfect revenge for his ex-girlfriend marrying a wonderful guy is to rub her face in the fact that he's a best-selling novelist when he attends her wedding. But in order to make that plan come true, he first has to become a best-selling novelist. So he studies the bestseller list and comes up with a perfect way to become a bestseller. And oh my God, the world of front list publishing is skewered so perfectly and so many times, so many different directions in this book that I don't think your perception of it will ever recover. If you like, popular best-selling fiction or the world of writing or the world of publishing, you have to read this book. You will laugh your head off. Some of the characterizations in there of people that are clearly recognizable as famous authors are priceless. The next one's about books as well. This is the paperback copy of Will Shelby's Books for Living. Just his one of those bookish memoir things. I love that kind of book. I can read them all day long. And this has a very nice blurb from the Christian Science Monitor. It's not named. There's no name on the blurb. Some publishers don't want to do that. As if the blurbs were written by bots. Do I look like a bot to you? Don't answer that. Let's just move on. Oh, great. Okay, next one is The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay by Michael Chabon. I like this volume because, I don't know, this might be a book club volume of some kind, because it has nothing, it has no folderol on it at all. It's just the book with no blurbs, no nothing. And this is the fictionalized story of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and in Depression era New York and the birth of superhero comics. But it's about so much more than that, including ultimately one strong strand running throughout the book that becomes into its own towards the end is a strong strand that runs through a lot of Michael Chabon's fiction. I won't comment any further than that, which is the blossoming of male friendships into something more than friendship. A tremendous book. I'm sure that you have seen this many times on BookTube. But if you haven't read it, if you've seen it at the library or at a charity sale for a dime, and you've wondered, is that as good as everybody says? It is, and you should read it. What is this next one? Oh, great. Okay, this is Agatha Christie's Nemesis. I think I mentioned this on this channel before. I just recently found this paperback. It was a nice trade paperback for almost nothing, and it was a rare instance for me where the pick was motivated by BookTube. I saw somebody rereading this particular book, and I forget who she was. I forget the name of the channel at the moment. But it was a wonderful discussion, and I remember loving the book. So as soon as I found it, I bought it to reread it, and I reread it. Why I kept it, that's another question. Oh, fantastic. This is the University of Chicago Press. This is Soho Crime. And this is Margaret Millar. This is the 5 novels of Margaret Millar. Vanish in an Instant, Wives and Lovers, The Great Beast in View, An Air That Kills, and The Listening Walls. She was a great crime novelist. There's just no one to touch her. She's a very, for those of you who might know what I mean, she's a very memento mori author. When he gets around to Margaret Millar, he's going to fall hell over heels in love. Her books are they're smart and sharp and acerbic, and they don't lead you by the hand. You have to be paying attention the whole time. I was so happy to see that this publisher intends to do a whole set of all of her novels in these lovely editions, and the whole set will eventually complete a painting on the spine. I love that. I hope they continue doing it. A lot of times those dreams come to nothing. We're forging on here. The video's getting a little long, but we're forging on. Okay, great. This is a small press historical fiction. This is Eromenos by Melanie McDonald. This is a very good, it's small, but it's a very good, very sensitive novel about the Emperor Hadrian and his love for his beautiful boy, Antinous. Just first rate. If this is still available and you like that description sounds good to you, you should go and buy a copy, because unlike with mainstream publishers, it will make a difference to the author. And what's this next one? Oh, right. Okay. This is Jessica Pearce, Run, Spot, Run. This came out last year, and it is a scathing sociological look at whether or not we're doing our dogs damage by keeping them as pets, by keeping them inside, behind windows, by not letting them be animals. I don't think I ever got around to reviewing this. I argued the book out loud on several occasions. That's why I kept it, because every pet owner should read this. And every dog owner will immediately see how flawed it is, how flawed its reasoning is. We made these animals. Bichon Frise doesn't exist in the wild. We made them. So making an ethical case that we're harming them by not letting them take down elk or whatever is a little silly. I read large chunks of it out loud to my sleeping, snoring, farting basset hound. I several times said in the course of reading the book, well, maybe I should release you in the Arnold Arboretum, let you enjoy the feel of the wind in your ears. Let's see here. Oh, great. Okay, this is another small press book. This is Reckoning by Rusty Barnes. It's his debut novel. It's what I sometimes dismissively refer to as hicklit. It's Appalachian fiction of the first order, beautifully written, about kids who discover a woman who's almost dead, and all the stuff that comes from that one moment of synergy. What a book! Another example where if you go to Amazon or whatever, and the description appeals to you, the purchase will actually mean something, as opposed to it already being factored into some big publisher's bottom line. And then what is this? Oh, great. Okay, this is what not a lot of people have heard of. I love it. I was happy to find it in this neat little handy trade paperback. This is an English language translation of Heimato von Doderer's The Demons, which is in the hardcover. It's in English. It's a 2-volume set in the box. But it's a big panoramic story of life in a city, and publishing, especially writers, especially, but also politicians and sellouts and spies. It's on a par with something like Life and Fate or War and Peace, except it's not known. I don't know why that is. Maybe it needs big popular translation in the present day for people to know about it. But the kind of that kind of immersive, that kind of old style European immersive novel, Cast of Thousands immersive novel, if you want something like that and you've gone through a lot of them, or you want something that maybe isn't well trod ground, The Demons by von Dodder is a great book. And then we get to the end. This is the last one. I think we've seen this on his channel before. This is The Courtmartial of George Armstrong Custer by Doug Jones. This is his historical novel in which Custer does not die at Little Bighorn. Instead, he lives in order to stand trial. And the book is about the man who will prosecute him and the man who will defend him. But, of course, it's about what happened at Little Bighorn, and it spirals in towards those climactic moments. And it's great because, once you take the linchpin out of the picture, once Custer lived, then you don't know what might not happen. You don't know what other variables are in play, and it's a fantastically readable book. And that's it. That finishes this shelf of the library tour of Darkest Mordor. So we will go on to the next shelf. The next shelf is oversized books. It's a nightmare. It's packed so thick, I don't know when we're going to get through it. But we did this for now. So I will post this. I will try to remember to put all the annotations down below because I've written about a lot of these books. And I will sign off for now, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.